Okay, my friends, enough of you have sent me this video, so I'm going to chime in and give you my 2 cents. So, my friends, the lesson for today, women crashing out as they age. Welcome, my friends. If you guys haven't seen this video yet, I'm going to play you a bit of it and then give you my impression, because this is something I've been talking about for a very, very long time. Ultimately, women who actually reach a point in life where the gravy train stops, the mistakes of their past catches up on them, and life becomes extremely difficult. And we're talking about Dawn Robertson, my friends. Yeah. For those of you that don't know who she is, she was a former singer in this group, In Vogue. They were hot back in the day, man. So she has now hit 58. She was born 24th of November, 1966. She's a couple months younger than I. Okay? So I can tell you, my friends, this is not the best time to be broke. But for those of you that don't know the story, let's listen to her tell it to you.
Being vulnerable is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of courage, because you show up not knowing the outcome. You show up not knowing the reaction people are going to have and what they're going to feel about it or how you're going to be judged. And when I first started this channel, I knew that I was going to talk about this episode. This was one of the topics that I wanted to discuss. And people are like back and forth with me over this whole time, like, well, you shouldn't talk about it because you're a celebrity, and what if they judge you? And I'm like, okay, what if? What if they judge me? So what? We're all judged. Life is life. And it was like nobody has stepped or walked 5 steps in my stilettos. So it's real, and it's okay. It's like part of being human is to be vulnerable. I'm human first. I don't care about celebrity. I don't care about being a woman. I don't care about any of the things that we think, oh my God, you shouldn't. It's like, that's the very reason that I should. That's the very reason that I am. I'm glad you guys are still with me and that you didn't give up on me. It's been a minute, like I said. So a lot of people are like, she's not coming back. We're not going to see her again. Yeah, you will. Thank you for having faith in me. Okay, that said, and I've always been honest too. That's the other thing. I'm like, why stop now? I'm not going to change who I am. I think that's what a lot of people love about me. I hope that's what you guys love about me. So anyway, my aim is to inspire and to let people know that you're capable of anything. No matter what the odds are against you, you are capable of anything. You're capable of everything. Whatever you think you can't do, you can do that thing. Like, come on, man. This is life. We got to figure shit out for ourselves. So anyway, I digress. You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas.
Now, listen. First and foremost, before we go on, I am not here to diss this woman. I don't know who she is. I didn't even know who she was until you guys kept sending me the bloody video. Older man, can you do a review on this? Older man, have you seen this? Older man, have you seen this? This is exactly what you've been talking about for the last 2 years. I then had to go and do a little research, and then I realized, whoa, there's quite a few guys already doing this story, covering it, you know? I saw it on Anton. I saw it on a few other channels. So I just said, it's probably been played out. But then the other part of me said, I need to show this to my followers, because not all of you follow all the channels that I research on a daily basis, right? I have to see what's trending. But it's such a powerful story. I need to show you guys it in order for you to understand exactly what I'm talking about, because it directly puts the freaking finger on what I've been telling you all, especially you ladies. Women have had it very good in their early years. The problem with most women who've had it good, they don't think it's going to come to an end. Women live in a fairy tale. We have to understand this, gentlemen. What is it that you never hear in the fairy tale? You never hear about growing old, you know. You only hear about they live happily ever after, and then the story is left up to the imagination of the reader to then fill in the blanks. No one talks about getting old, stretch marks, farting in bed, you know, getting sick, husband looking after you, you looking after husband, menopause, and going broke and having accidents or any of that other crap, falling down the stairs, breaking a hip. No one talks about that shit. And no one talks about the fact that if you don't invest in your early years and put away enough funds instead of traveling and trips, that you're going to end up sleeping in your freaking car. Especially if you go through a damn divorce. If you leave your husband with whom you have been building a life until the end with. If you disrupt all of those things, you have no future. And you know what's the shitty part about life? The future always hits you. If you have no future and you die, you have none. Your future is death. I can get it. Listen, I've gone all metaphysical on you, but the point I'm trying to get across is your future will hit you one way or the other. And if you're not prepared for it, my friends, like she obviously wasn't, you end up in your car. Let's listen to a little bit more about what she has to say. The story is interesting because I want you to hear how women justify screwing up, okay?
And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. I didn't understand it. I still don't. And it hurt me. So I was just trying to figure it out, but I couldn't. You can't read someone else's mind. You can't figure them out. They got to figure themselves out. So I was like, let me get out of here.
Most parents, especially women, get really bitter in their old age, especially when they feel that they've married the wrong guy. The fairy tale didn't come to a beautiful end. Worst, if the daughter is no longer a celebrity and supporting her, she's going to get pissed off about that. Because I'm sure in the heyday that this woman was probably sending mommy some money, right? I'm making assumptions, but I can just see these things as clear as day because I see too many examples of it. I've been around for a while.
And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA. And he said, you need to come back to LA because it's getting ready to be fire in Vegas. You need to come back. I love LA. So I said, okay. And he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay.
Yeah, living in the desert in your car is not pleasant, okay? Because trust me, I live in a desert over here. You do not want to be living in your car in a desert. Oh, doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the city or out in the wilderness. That heat, when it hits that car, yeah. You might as well just go and stick your head in the oven. And then at night, it gets bloody cold. Well, that's in Vegas. But over here, it doesn't get cold. Dubai was one of the first places that I actually traveled to, where I arrived off the plane at midnight. Coming from the Caribbean, when it hits midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because of the humidity, it cools down quite nicely. Over here in Dubai, unless you're out in the bloody wilderness, when you get off in the airport and you inhale that first breath after you've been sitting on the plane for a good 12 hours, it feels like you've just opened the oven and then inhale. That's what it feels like in the middle of summer. Just a side note. Just in case you guys decide to come over here in the summer, you're not going to get the best experience. You'll be spending a lot of time indoors.
But you have a dog, I have a dog. Do we have... And he's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into... okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh, my God, you guys. I was like, no, this is unacceptable. Because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there until I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh, my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I'm like, dude, I'm the one who has to live here. This is my remote for my phone. you can push play and pause and all that stuff. So that's why I'm holding this. Anyway, and it's way cheaper than the hotel. I told my assistant one day, I have been researching car life. There's a whole community of people that live in their cars, and a whole community of people that live in their RVs, and a whole community of people that live in vans. Van life, car life, RV life. And I loved what I was seeing. I just thought, wow, these people, I could do that. I could do this, I think. And I ended up in my car, and it's been, like I said, 3 years. Yeah, I mean, I felt like he was playing games, and I knew he was playing games, and I'm paying my hotel. No, his apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over $3,000. No, way too much. And no, I'm not doing this. I can't. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I can't, but I'm getting it together. What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel, and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem? Sometimes I think, you guys, people want to trap you and keep you in a situation where you're vulnerable and depending on them. And I wasn't the one. So, yeah, I got out of there. So there's 2 people that I have in my life that are keeping me going. Actually, 3. One is my forever mother-in-law. I dated her son. Of course, we're no longer together. And she's like oh my gosh, my go-to. And then I have my assistant, Nisi. Nisi is, you guys, I swear, every day she's like, Diva, she calls me Diva. You can do this. You got this. Oh, and the third person is Evan, my brother, Evan. And Nisi, I think I'm going to go and sleep in my car. I think I'm going to live in my car. I've been researching it, and I know I can do this. And she's like, yeah, you can. She was gung-ho, and I was like, okay. So I went up to Malibu. You know, Malibu is the place where you can take Highway 1 all the way from New York, literally. And it's kind of the place where everybody stops along the way when they're coming from the East Coast and they're heading west, to California, to make their dreams come true, to start a new life. March 9th, 2022 is when I left the hotel. And I got to Malibu, and the music on the radio was Avant, Sailing by Avant. I like Christopher Cross's version as well, but this version was like perfect timing. It was so beautiful. Both of them are beautiful, but...
Listen, you ever seen somebody who's dancing and they swear that they can dance, and during the dance, they slipped on the floor and they end up busting their ass? But they quickly recover and pretend like that was actually part of the move. This is what she's doing right here. Life has kicked the crap out of her. This woman, during the good times, she did not invest any of her money. She went through a divorce with a man who is now offering to give her a job. She had an ex who she couldn't get along with, but the mother-in-law is helping to support her. Her brother is supporting her. So all of these people, she's depending on their generosity for her survival at 58 years old. This is one of the beautiful luxury that women have in today's day and age. And I can assure you that this video, which has gone viral, I've seen it all over the place. There's going to be a GoFundMe that's going to earn her hundreds of thousands of dollars that she's going to get off the road. Because a 58-year-old woman should not be on the road in a car on her own. No, it shouldn't happen. She should have a man with her, because I've seen the van life for a lot of these people who don't have a home. I've seen a lot of videos of them living out the back of their car. It's not a comfortable life at all. They're taking showers in gyms. They're taking showers at various stops that you pay a few coins and, it's not a comfortable life, because you got to look at the logistics. You wake up in the middle of the night as an older woman, older man, right? This is for men, and you need to take a pee, right? You need to go outside your car to do that. Now with a man, he can have a hose, stick his dick in it, piss in it, it goes into a bottle. But a woman, she got to get up and go outside. It's dangerous. And this is why I keep telling women, life for you at a later age is significantly more dangerous And that's why it's important for you to stay in your damn marriages. I'm trying to warn a couple right now who are going through a divorce, where the woman keeps dragging it out and the lawyer just keeps sucking more and more money. Instead of her compromising, she's trying to suck as much money from this average man as she can. And the man is basically saying, I'm going to end up with $150 per month after I pay you alimony and child support. The arrangement, she's going to get $1,000 after he's paid out everything. He has back problems. He's 54, 55 years old. She's 50, but she's trying to suck as much as she can from him during this divorce. And I'm trying to advise this woman, if she keeps going down this road where she's going back and forth fighting the man, instead of just settling with what he's trying to give her that's fair, he's being fair to her. She keeps fighting it. And so who do you think is getting the majority of the money right now? The bloody lawyers. The lawyers are sucking the money at $500 an hour. Every letter that's written back and forth. Both of them are paying. So he has less money to give her and she has less money saved. So both of them are going to end up with thousands of dollars less by the time this whole thing come to fruition. But women don't see it like that because they don't calculate long term. It's always about their immediate comfort. It's always about, oh, I need to celebrate this. Oh, I need to go here. I need to have fun here. This is what happens to these women. And I'm telling you, ladies, if you are not prepared to live in the back of your car, you're going to be in trouble if, one, you don't find a man early in life and stick with him. And number two, if you decide to marry your husband and try to take everything from him, you're going to end up in trouble. So I just saw this little piece done by E.T. and it says,
that means that a lot of people are paying attention to En Vogue, that we are now an entity, that, we are a thing that people talk about and go to see and watch the videos and all that stuff.
Yeah, things are looking a lot different these days for the singer. But she says this new lifestyle wasn't something she was forced into, but something she decided was right for her after realizing she couldn't live with her parents.
I love my mom, but
something she wasn't forced into. Oh, I couldn't live by myself. It was too expensive. I couldn't live with a husband. So I decided to move back home with my parents, but I couldn't live with my mother. So you're forced into living in your car. I don't get it. This is the kind of stories that just drives me insane. The woman is homeless. Simple. She don't have any other choice that is better than living on the street. She is bloody homeless. We need to call a spade a spade. Blows my freaking mind how they keep trying to whitewash this crap. But here's the beautiful thing about life, right? Here's the man that she divorced. Dawn Robinson's ex-husband offers her a job after revealing she's been living in her car for 3 years. The man still comes back and tries to help her. Now, I didn't dig to see what kind of business it was that he's had, that he's offering her a job. But a job is a job, because I can tell you, man, at 58, there's not a lot of companies that are hiring ex-singers. There's not even a lot of companies that are hiring corporate executives. There's not a lot of companies hiring lawyers at age 58 or doctors or any other profession, because you're literally at that age where you're about to leave. You're about to expire from those professions. So most companies know that, hey, you know what? I can get someone who's in their 30s, 20 years younger, pay them a lot less. I know that they have artificial intelligence. I know that all of these other tools that are now available can bring them up to scratch to the 58-year-old with a lot of experience. I don't need that anymore. I do not need to invest in a 58-year-old. I can get a younger model, upgrade them with AI. Boom, done. That's the reality of the world that we're living in right now, my friends. And that's why I keep encouraging you guys, you need to actually make passive income from somewhere. That's why you should buy my digital content creators toolkit. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm also being serious, because the bottom line is it's one way to help yourself. You need to find a way to get all of that knowledge that you have acquired over the decades and get it into a digital product and sell it, because that's one of the best ways right now to actually make an income with very little investment. Much better than trying to buy a house. What are you going to buy a house with? Can you get a mortgage at age 58 for any long period of time? Do you have the down payment for a mortgage? If you're living in your car, more than likely you don't. These are the realities of life that we have to get comfortable with. And women don't understand if they don't freaking do what I'm telling you. Stay in your marriage. Get married as young as you can. Focus on building a life with a man for as long as it takes to survive into your later years. Stop thinking about the freaking shiny objects that you need to buy. The bag, the car, etc., etc. Let me show you how ridiculous it is. I saw this auction here, and I don't know if it's real or not, but you imagine spending this kind of money on a bag? Just think about it. Let's watch this auction here. Rare Hermes bag auctioned.
750,000. A custom matte beton alligator and black swift leather Kelly Doe. It's extremely adorable bag at 500,000, 550,000, 600,000. You hit with the phone 650, 700,000. 800,000, 950, back online. 1 million, 1 million 1,300,000, 1,650,000, 1,700,000, 1,750,000, at 1,750,000. So 1,750,000, a custom
1.7 million for a freaking bag. The only people that would buy that are women. Okay? Women. And listen, I don't know if it's a gag or whether it's a voiceover, etc., because I've seen some of those happen with watches. But the reality of it is, women still spend an astronomical amount of money on stupid shit like this, just to say they had it or they have it. Add that to the shoes, add that to the designer clothing, add that to the trips that they take all over the world. We have a recipe for living in your car in your 50s. That's all I'm trying to say, my friends. I am talking to the younger generation, both males and females. Find a partner. Find a partner. Now, I know a lot of you don't like to hear me use the word partner. I'm just using the lingo of today's environment. All right? Gentlemen, if you can't find a woman, find another man to actually go into a business arrangement with where you guys are living together. Get a freaking apartment together. You have one master bedroom. He has the other one. You guys go out and do your thing. And what I'm telling you, you get a business license that owns the house. He owns 50%. You own 50%. You buy it together. You save money together. You live together as a freaking couple. Yeah, I know both of you are straight. You do your thing. But don't do it apart. You're going to suffer in the end. If we can get men together to actually start splitting bills, you have to find a man who's not interested in getting married again. Buy a house together under the name of a corporation. I'm telling you guys, this is the only way you're going to be able to survive until the end of time, your time. Ladies, if you can't find a man who's willing to ask you to marry him, do the exact same thing with another woman. Open a company together. Easy. Couple $100. 50-50. Buy a house in the name of the company. The shares, 50%, 50%. Split the bills. You got companionship with another woman. You guys want to go out and do your thing. You can either split the apartment down the middle, or you can basically do what you want. Or if you have a house, you make sure that you divide everything. I'm telling you, this world is not designed for single people. It is not. There's no way each and every one of us are going to live until the end of time, our time, and not end up living in a car. Because shit is going to get real very soon. And women like her are showing you the realities of life. This was a celebrity. Not that celebrities are any better at friggin' money management. But she had opportunities to make a lot of money. She was in that atmosphere. So my friends, listen, I'm going to lock it off there. Thank you guys for sharing the video, and listen, this is how I see it. There are other videos out there that shows you a different story, but this is how I see life. I hope you guys can learn something from it. All right? Like the video on the way out, my friends, and of course, pick up my Content Creators Toolkit. Book a session with me if you need to talk to me about anything about life at all. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, I will be hosting a 2-hour session over on Zoom. But this is going to only be for members, okay? It's free. It's free for you guys to actually go and join the membership site. It's on School. The link is displayed here, but you can go into the description of this video and you can click on the link and join the school. And you can ask me questions on Zoom and join the conversation. It's not going to be broadcast. This is just private. Okay, so until next time, my friends, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.